Okay, let me do an intro quickly. So back to basics, growth on a Thursday, and I thank you so much for joining us. I was busy telling this amazing bunch of people that this weekend we landed up being on the Robin Banks course, Mind Power course. And of all the personal development journey, or the journey that I've been on for years now, this course just ticked all the boxes with that my journey's been spot on. Absolutely, I've been learning and applying the right things because it so felt right. And it also made me realize, or what it gave me insight to was, you see Murth on the call here, he wasn't aware of any of the positive, negative frequencies and the story of how we all exist on this planet in energy form, and how Robin Banks puts it across so beautifully in, and I say with respect because I'm in people language, the understandable language of how you just, it makes such sense of his message is just, it just made so much sense to me. So I wanted to go to his course because I know the bigger picture and because I've studied the bigger energy side of things, and I wanted to go and see how he has such a beautiful way of putting it. I wanted to bridge my voice from what I know and experience in my life into people language, and be able to be an influence in the world of how I speak and how I apply my love and my life, and how I can teach it and pass it on. So it was, without a doubt, perfectly timed, the most incredible course I have ever been on. And when he comes back to Cape Town, I think he does Cape Town once a year, or even if he lands up being in a different city, I really do urge you to invest in putting some pennies aside. It costs 10,000 Rand, this course, for Joe and I. And I know he's got another one, obviously, on a different, not the Mind Power, but a different course in, I think, the beginning of October, which I think is about 15,000 for two. No, it's one person and then somebody pays extra, but it's got like 5 courses in it. But Robin Banks is, he is a very special human being who knows how to put it in such a funny, joking, real, ridiculous way that you can't not but learn. And it really was a privilege to be there so that I can now improve my way and better myself of communicating with you guys and with the people that I coach. So for those of you who don't know and first or new on this call, I'm actually, I have a couple of qualifications, but I am actually a John Maxwell speaker coach, which I did in studied in 2011, got my accreditation in West Palm Beach in the beginning of 2012. I always knew there was going to be a need and a place for me to fit in along my journey, and I've been working towards coaching people.
Hello! Mwah, mwah.
He's just flown back to Johannesburg. I have to mute you though. It's my turn to speak.
Oh, I'm not on mute.
Oh, I love you, Joe. So I was busy telling them about the Mind Power course, and I'd love you to also give some feedback there with regards to the weekend. But I realized that, and I'm so excited to be able to learn the language and study the course. We have homework every day. I should start giving you guys all homework. Well, I try to, but we have like really hectic homework every day. And I'm honoring it, and I'm really diving into it because I want to be an example of the person who can absolutely change her life or his life, but I'm a her, with the law of attraction and with the energy story of what really is going on down in this, of our existence. So I'm so excited, and I know our group will grow and grow. And I coach a lot of individuals on this, and we've really had a lot of fun over the years of learning the how the law of attraction, how the universe works in energies, and how you can apply it to your life, and how it has completely 180'd my life simply by making a decision and realizing that my old story was not serving me anymore. Something was wrong. My heart just wasn't, maybe you just don't want to get out of bed in the morning, and it was wrong, and I identified it, and I made a decision to go on a journey of growth from the inside out, as opposed to the outside in, looking for external things to make me happy. I was finding I did it the other way around, and that's what this journey with you guys, and it doesn't matter if there's one person on this call or if there's 10,000 people on this call. I know if I can impact one life every day, every week on this call, every month, every year, and that they've shifted 1 degree in their lives, then I know I can do it to a lot more people, and make a difference. So I become a better person, and I love it. I love it. Joe, can I get some feedback on Robin Banks, on the message, or just the personal development and the course that you got on the weekend? And Muath, I'm then going to ask you as well after that, if you're open to talk. That'll be awesome. Okay.
Hello. It feels funny to be back in Joburg and leave my Susie in Cape Town, but yeah, soon. So we had the most amazing weekend, Saturday, Sunday, with Robin Banks, and a lot of the stuff that we went through was things that we kind of like already know in many ways. However, he has a fantastic way to put information across, and we loved it. I think we were all like so revved up by the time we left there, because he's got that typical like information coming across with humor and constantly pushing those vibes out like that. So one of the biggest things that I think that impacted that we went into conversation with was with the quantum physics, and the ability to take yourself into your future self or your past self and connect with it and have an impact or influence on that space, so that in this moment with yourself you can make actual changes and conscious changes with it. And I think that's one of the biggest things that came through on this weekend. He spoke about it more significantly on Sunday, but yeah, we had some really good discussions over that, and it just kind of showed that at in any moment you can connect to any part of yourself that has existed or is existing, but in your past self, or setting a laser focus into the future and bringing that energy into the now, and melding it and having an influence on it, and having growth, positive growth and clarity, and I think settling oneself in this space, because when we go through a lot of like change or growth spurts in ourselves in this moment, it's sometimes a little bit like confusing, and you're like, am I doing the right thing, and or is everything going to be okay, and am I on the right track, always comes out, am I on the right track with my life purpose? And if you're connecting to your future self and bringing that in, you kind of give yourself guidance on your path forward. So yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things, and just the way Robin Banks structured it, so that it's very clear, it's definite steps to move forward in a very structured way, and which made it clear and easy to receive.
Yeah, thanks. And totally, it's, when you say connecting with your future self, I'm going to talk a little bit tonight about the positive, negative, and the frequencies. But when you are connecting with your future self, is basically the easiest way to do it, and I know what I do, is to start daydreaming, guys. So simple. When last did you daydream? When last did you have a good daydream of somewhere you wanted to go, someone you wanted to be? What happens if you wanted to be that person on stage, or if you wanted to be that person sailing a yacht? You wanted to be that person. I'm just going to mute you, Joe. If you wanted to be that person that is climbing a mountain or Kilimanjaro or something, you wanted to be that person who is a rock star, you wanted to be whatever, just have a daydream. You want to be lying on that beach in Maldives, have a daydream for a minute or two a day. Even if you're stuck at a traffic light, go into a daydream. Trust me, you'll be woken up out of your daydream, because no doubt someone will hoot at you when the robot turns green. So you're not going to get stuck there. It's okay. But go into a daydream, and the trick is to feel. It's got nothing to do with a picture. What would it feel like to be on that beach? What would it feel like to be skydiving? What would it feel like to be that rock star? What would it feel like to have that partner you want next to you? If you want a partner, what would it feel like? So I don't know about you, but I've always daydreamed, and I've daydreamed in 5D. So I'm telling you to daydream now in 10D. Bring in the sounds, bring in the pictures, bring in the lights, bring in the action. Bring in you as the main character of this daydream, of whatever you are daydreaming that could. And it's not about whether it comes true or not. You're getting yourself into the frequency of it to get rid of this rubbish that's behind you in the negative. It counteracts and it elevates you. And if you can learn to daydream into your future of what you want to be, what does your heart want? And you can daily daydream and add extra bits and add extra props and add extra people and conversations. Have the full-on conversations of what do you want. Make that movie of a daydream. Give it an Oscar award for the best daydream that is going down at the moment in the future self that you want to be. Nobody can hijack a daydream. Nobody has a clue what is in your daydream except you. You don't have to be self-conscious of it. You can go to town with the detail of a daydream for success in your business, success in your relationships, places you want to go to, hobbies you want to do, painting. But the trick is to get into the feeling. What does it feel like? Because one of the big things that we're actually going over in our homework for Robin Banks is all of we're doing 7 laws of the mind and thoughts. Now, obviously, this is Robin's material, but I'm not going to teach you anything. What I'm going to say is that we all know, and if we don't know, and that's what these Zoom calls that I do, I'm not interested in telling you personal development of all those books on the shelf that you can go and buy. I want to tell you honestly that I have got so many books, and Alan knows. Remember the box of books that we had at training? I don't even know where that box is. That was just some of them. The rest all went to charity. I have got so many books, and I've kept, that I have read and read. But until I actually, the penny dropped, and I got the facts behind of realizing we are energy. We're just compressed energy. I clearly chose this persona and this body. I chose this mind. I chose everything that is around me has attracted to me because of my frequency. So if a person lives in down and despair, you need to check what's going on inside. Someone's living a wonderful, happy life, check what's going on inside. If you are a positive, or you're giving off a positive frequency, because your body's made up of cells, those cells vibrate at a frequency, and the frequency comes from the daydream. What is going on in your head? Is it a happy daydream, or is it that nonsense that you're stuck on old stories, or that nonsense of, and it's not nonsense. I actually am going to correct myself and apologize. It is not nonsense. It is just the only story that we know up to today, whether it be a happy story or a sad story. We've just kind of got attached to it. It's like a dog, taking a dog for a walk. The lead is attached. It's round our wrist, and we are not letting it go. And all you have to do is just drop that lead and face your daydream. Because that is a negative. That's gone. Guys, we can't replace the past. And you know, this, everyone says you can't correct the past, but you can rewrite your future. And when I realized that my past was not serving me, I literally turned away. I pivoted. There's a lovely scene, and I know I've told you before, but I'll tell you the newbies. On YouTube, you've got to go look for the scene on the series Friends. There's a series called Pivot, and they're trying to get the sofa around this curly stairwell, and the guy's screaming, pivot, 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 and his friends are like, what the hell does pivot even mean? Like, we can't go anywhere. We can't turn this thing. It's like stuck. And what you want to do, you know, is that I landed up pivoting. I landed up saying, finally, this old story does not serve me. I'm so miserable, and nothing's going right in my life. What am I doing wrong? I can't blame everyone else, but I was the common denominator in all of it. In my relationships, in my finances, and everything, I was the common denominator. And if I have an awareness that I have a frequency, that I am attracting whatever, whether it be a small home, whether it be a crappy bank balance, whether it be no relationship or a bad relationship, I was, if you want to put me in a color and say I was brown, I was attracting brown to my brown. And the only way I could get out of my brown was to shift my energy even 1 degree. If it was so hard, I couldn't just do 180s. But if I could do 1 degree, I could get less brown and more into yellow, and less brown and more into yellow, yellow, and less brown and more into yellow, 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 until I had pivoted all the way around to yellow, which is my happy, okay? But I could only do that if I had an awareness that it was me that had to make the change. And when I suddenly realized that, this is just, gotta stop. It was the same story every month. It was the same story every day, where I was sick with worry, with finances. I was wondering, why can't I find a man in my life? Why can't, I was like, woe is me, poor Susie, 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 what are we going to do? And when I had an awareness, and when I was taught that I was giving off the frequency, the dream that I was dreaming was the frequency that I was stuck in, and I had to change. So I made a conscious decision, and it is as easy as that. How much do you love your life now? And how much do you love you? And how much are you willing to now finally reset and change your story? So when I had the awareness and the knowledge of how to do it, which is what I want to share with you, is I had to learn how to change my thoughts every day to change my frequency. And I started daydreaming. It was as simple as that. I really actually didn't know what else to do. And I started daydreaming. And I started daydreaming, where would I really like to be? And I used to go for my walks around the park every day, picking up my sticks, my wands, doing my affirmations, and daydreaming of amazing things. I really did. I went to town, and it made me feel better. And the feeling better then gave me, I then had an awareness of feeling better, because I was so down and I was stuck in the brown. And I got a feeling of feeling better. And when I got the feeling, that 1 degree that changed, I locked onto more feeling and more feeling and more feeling. And my daydream became from 3D to 4D to 5D. And sometimes my daydream went on for weeks. We had a whole story going on. We had a whole life planned out. And it didn't matter what I was planning out to disappoint myself. I was just getting myself in a better place. So I was consciously aware of it, but I was ready, guys. I was so ready to reset my thoughts, because my life was stuck. And for those of you who don't know, and in fact, I'm about to actually do a clip on it for my website, is in January, at the end of January this year, I literally reset my life. I sold up everything during February, everything. I don't own a TV, I don't own a chair, I don't own a bed, I don't own a lamp, I own a zipper, and I'm a mother of 2 children. I got rid of a curtain, I got rid of everything. I have a few boxes of precious stuff in storage. I sold all my clothes, I gave all my clothes away to my friends. I reset my life because I was stuck. And the moment I did it, every single thing in my life, it was like old energy just went, it like exploded. I was so happy to release it all because I knew that I knew by the law of attraction and the law of the whole story of frequencies and energies, if I got rid of the old story and I was now heading positively, that it would create momentum. And it create momentum. All hell broke loose. I mean, it was amazing. So what happened in February, everything was now sold. I kept my car. I drove up to Joburg for a couple of weeks. And that's where I met Joe. It went like, even though we had met 4 years ago, this is the first time we connected in 4 years. And I came back down to Cape Town. I was given a 2-week, I didn't have a home. I gave up my townhouse, everything. And I trusted it to my core because I knew I had to reset my life. And I knew that this was the moment. I got a house sit for 2 weeks. I then moved in to a friend's spot for a month. And then I got a house sit for 4 months, which is now turned into a house sit till the end of next July. Who gets a 15-month house sit? Me, of course. And I live in this beautiful little home with a beautiful cat Pablo, and I have a fireplace, and I have a garden, and I have a swimming pool, and I have everything that I could possibly need because I don't own anything, but I have everything. I released myself of stuff and my old story in order to create a new story, and I daydreamed the house sit into my life. I daydreamed this next year of completely business booming. I daydreamed it. Keith, you know that I saw us in a stadium. We're running out of rooms weekly. Even our new room was full last night. We haven't even got to a training day. I put it out there. You spot on. What does Joe say here? I'm a proud owner of a Joe. I've got a Joe in my life. Joe's my O, I tell you. And I put it out there. I put it out there because it was such a 180 of my old story. So why not think of a new daydream? I want you guys to start daydreaming. You need to have fun with your new manifestations. You need to have fun with your new frequency. It's not a serious job. If you think it's serious, you're back in the negative. It's fun. Start getting the digestive juices down to the bodies you want, to the bank balances you want, to the life that you want, but it has to come with a feeling. Don't just look at, you don't go and watch a movie with a deadpan emotion. If you watch a comedy, you're laughing, you get a feeling of happy. If you're watching a drama, maybe your heart beats a little bit more. So when you daydream, bring in the senses, smell it, taste it, hear it, feel it, be it. I don't even know what the other one was, but be it is. Be your rock star. Nobody can hijack that story in your head. And it is not about the story. It's about the frequency. And the bigger and the most colorful and the more that you can just make an Oscar of it, you will find that your entire life, literally, I promise you, because I've done it. Joe's done it as well. Shifts, like you will never be the same person, ever be the same person. Tam, can I tell you a story? So I have a friend staying with me tonight who arrived from London, and Tammy actually is South African and has had an incredible journey of contrast, let's say, in relationships and in work and in all sorts of things. And she and I, in the last year or two, when I moved on to Cape Town, Tammy came and stayed for a couple of months. She was in a deep hole. Even the universe split her head open, knocked my car door on her head to stop her going back to this workplace she was at that was just sucking her energy out of her. And through us busy listening to Abraham Hicks, I put some on the group this morning, and a lot of my people know about Abraham Hicks and starting to learn. We realized the whole story about we're energy and we're frequency, and your thoughts are positive, negative. And if you think lots of negative, you will attract more and create momentum. If you think positive, but it's been a journey of, and Abraham Hicks last year really, Tammy dived into this classroom, and she dived in and she absorbed it and absorbed it. And every time she came around with a bottle of wine, we discussed Abraham Hicks. We dissected it, and we saw where our lives were shifting and changing. And we had a conscious awareness of how we were speaking, can't, won't, don't, as opposed to we would then start talking our daydream language, can, will, I am. And she landed up, bizarrely, all in one very quick story of a really crappy boss she had who was just horrible, of this horrible job experience she had, of re-meeting a chap that she was at school with 27 years ago, creating, and she had daydreamed the most amazing love story. She'd been daydreaming of this perfect guy for years, but she had to match, she had to be a frequency of positive in order to attract what you want. And she was daydreaming this amazing frequency of a man, of a story. And she met an old schoolmate 27 years ago, who literally swept her off her feet, flew out from England. They clicked, took her back to England. He has taken her to New York. He has taken her to Iceland. He's taken her to Paris. He's taken her to where? Hong Kong. And he put a ring on her finger 2 weeks ago. And she's going back to England to marry him and live happily ever after, travel the world. And of course, he's loaded and he's everything, because she manifested the frequency of wealth in amongst her daydream. And she has been so consciously aware of her thoughts for the last year or so. So she's brought in the story. And it sounds so off the fairy tale radar, because you know what it is. And it is so real, because that's what I've done in my life as well. So when you are consciously aware of the frequency you're giving off, if it is negative, guys, you have to take a step back, take a breath, and go for a walk and lock into a daydream. Do a magnificent speech on stage. Do whatever you want to do, because nobody can hijack that frequency that's going on in your brain. And it is the most powerful thing that you have in your existence. And when you can control what is in your head, in your thoughts, in a frequency that is so high, in 10D, you can create anything in your life. It's just a matter of practice. So I urge you to start daydreaming. And it's quite fun when you do start. You're actually quite gentle, because you think, I know it's not really going to happen, but you know what? What the hell, guys? If you don't have to believe it's going to happen yet. Just go daydream. Get into the frequency of that Oscar award-winning movie, of anything. Go off the charts, go to space. You know that I'm going to space. I daydream, and I believe I'm going to interview Richard Branson one day in his space rocket. And you know what a high frequency that is. And even if it doesn't happen, you know what? My frequency that is up there will create something that is so magical, it was as if it did happen. But I am going to interview him. So don't be scared to daydream again. Don't be scared. We used to do it as children. We used to do it. We know how to daydream. Don't tell me you don't know how to daydream. We know how to daydream. And give yourself permission to do it. Give yourself permission to do it in such brilliant be the director of your daydream, the director of your movie, of little things. and start being aware that it creates a currency. It creates a frequency. It will create lots of currency as well. And when you get on that higher currency, you really do start attracting. Your tribe becomes all of your friends in your vibe. Your finances improve, your relationships improve, you improve, your body improves, because you are feeding it. You even start eating better. I mean, I've even done a U-turn now with over the last couple of years, I've put on a tremendous amount of weight for me, and even that has shifted and has started shifting, and my body is just like saying cheers, because I'm daydreaming my new body. Every single inch of my body has been daydreamed of what I see it to look like. And I have a friend of mine, Tracy, she's she says to me, oh my gosh, look at this. So she lifts her shirt up and she's now got these abs. I said, where the hell did those come from? She said, I manifested them. I said, how did you manifest them? Should I close my eyes? I basically looked at myself and I said, I'd like a six-pack. Thanks very much. And she let it go. She frequented into her, it took a month. It took a month. So you get so good at daydreaming that it is. In the beginning, you still can't quite join the dots with, I believe it's going to, it doesn't need to come true, because you will be delivered that or better always, never less. A frequency attaches a frequency, and you will also find when your frequency comes up, you will find very different people that you start bumping into, and people that avoid you, and people that don't come near you, and friends that disappear. And if they're people, if you're growing a business or whatever you grow, you will attract people on the same vibration. And is it not true that you would rather deal with a happier person than a grumpy whatever? So if you keep your vibe up, you are responsible for your vibration. And you're so sick of negative people around you, then just look at what you're giving off. If you've got negative people around you, it's not their fault. It's your vibration. You're just attracting each other. You're in one big, happy, bottom of the pool, sad pool pile. So up your vibe and you'll attract your tribe. And everything has a frequency. Money has a different frequency to wood, or to, the higher the frequency you are. Money is a very light frequency. It's very easy to attract money. Just don't think about it. Just work on your vibration and your daydream, and forget money. Forget it. And if you're not feeling good and you're about to go into a meeting, don't go to the meeting, or make sure that you run around or do something. Think of put on a happy song on the radio, or close your eyes and take some deep breaths and plug into a feeling of Hollywood or your movie, and then go into your meeting, because you will drag in you the frequency that is attached to you if you've just had a fight with someone, or if you're feeling crappy. And don't listen to the news and all that rubbish on the radio. Even music is too noisy. I must actually post on the group on YouTube. They've got, if you type in frequency music, you can get all different categories for abundance, health, and it's all these different, is it megahertz, I think? All these different frequencies. So you can track in love, happiness, and I play it solidly. We even leave it when we go out, we leave it on for Pablo the cat, the happy channel. And it's a frequency with piano or flutes. It's very light and everything, and it's just in the background. And that frequency now is creating, it's all around you. It's all around you, and it's in your room, and it's in your house, wherever you can hear it. And I play it constantly, and Joe and I were having this discussion the other day saying, this is what officers should be playing without anyone even realizing it's on. It should be played in the background of an office. It should be played in the background of a classroom. It should be played in the background of every single home. So they are there are videos, you know, it's obviously just flowers or the scenery and whatever, which are lovely. But you've got 3 hours, 8 hours, you've got long stints of things if you want to attract money. So just go look for frequency music and you'll get a whole lot. And it has completely changed my home environment. And also it's, I find our normal music is so noisy. Gosh, it's noisy, and everybody's sad and brokenhearted, and oh, they've left me alone, and I'm down in the dumps and terror. I mean, the people write really depressing songs. Oh my gosh, it's exhausting when you get out your car and you it's like a mass murder going on when it's exhausting. Anyway, so we'd rather not listen to anything, or we listen to Abraham, or we listen to frequency music. So that's just a little head scale. So this week's homework, time to daydream. So I dare you to dream. And I say it, and I know we hear it often, if there was no issue of time, no issue of money, no issue of anything stopping you, what does your heart truly want you to do? Go daydream about it. Go to the forest, go to the mountains, go to the islands, go to the stage, go to the charities you want to open, go to the place that makes your heart happy, and go and make a movie about it in your mind. And you don't have to tell anyone. Put a smile on the inside of your face that reaches all the way down from your brain to your heart. And I promise you that your days will change. So when you wake up in the morning, give yourself permission for a couple of minutes to daydream, okay? So that's my message today. I'm on an absolute high after Robin Banks. I'm on an absolute high after having my beautiful Joe with me for a week. And of a hugely successful meeting last night and a big training day on Saturday I'm so excited about. And I'm going to continue daydreaming in my 10D. You have no idea how big my dream is. And it's huge because I can do it. And so can you. Just go wild. Have fun. Get into the vibration of that big dream. And stay there. And stay there more often. It's not going to happen overnight. You are going to have your ups and downs. But you've always got a return point to go to because you know the feeling. Feel what it's like to smile on the inside out. Okay. Such fun. Everything goes right. And when it goes wrong, it doesn't last wrong for long because it just gives you okay, I have an awareness of this. I need to correct myself here and there or what have you. Does anyone want to say anything? Or am I doing all the talking tonight?
Hi, it's just that it's been such a long time since once dreamed about what's going on that you forget how to dream. Well, I've forgotten how to dream, let's put it that way. It's been such a long time since I last sat down and allowed myself to dream of what I'd like to do or what things that I'd like that to happen. And that's such a long time ago that one forgets how to do it. So you got to.
So if I had to ask you a question, Al, if I came and gave you R1 million tomorrow, what would the first thing that you would love to do? Where would you like to go? What's a place you'd like to go?
One of the places I've never been to Europe. I've never been to Israel, so I'd go to Europe and to Israel. Italy.
And would you go on a bus tour, or would you go like to go with people?
What I'd love to do is the riverboat trip from Austria to Budapest.
And who would you like to go with?
And I've got no idea at the moment, but somebody.
So maybe you meet a lovely blonde on the boat. So
maybe you meet somebody along the way, yeah. So I'm just saying, but as I say, that's one of the things. I'd love to go on a Mediterranean cruise. Greek islands I've never been to Europe at all. I've been to England, but that's about as far as it goes. And I've been to America. 40 years ago, I went to the Far East. I went to Hong Kong and to Bangkok. It was over 1970s. We went on, I don't remember the TFC tours.
Yes, very well.
We went on one of those. I think it cost, if I remember, it was 1978 that we went. I think it cost 370 Rand per person, including airfare and hotels.
You believe it. So do you have a travel agency near you?
Not, yeah, they've got like, what, there's flight center.
Can you find a travel agent near you? Can you walk in and go and fetch yourself a brochure of what tours are around Europe? Go fetch some brochures, Al, and look at the pictures and look at the itineraries and let that start the digestive juices of places you want to go to. Go and get some brochures. It'll help you. Lovely way to dream.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, cool bananas. Okay. Anyone else have anything? Keith?
Yes, just to do with the business too. I just said to myself that I want to at least double up what we achieved last month. And it happened. You know, and I just put it out there positive, and I said, I'm going to double up at a minimum. And yeah, and I think my positive energy is so much that someone in the UK even gave me a car as well. So he felt my energy in the UK.
Your car?
Yeah, old Fiat 124 1972, but in good nick and everything. I'm just busy putting it through the test now today.
You were given a car?
It's a client of mine, and I do work for him here every 3 months. I clear a plot for him in Swellendam. And I met him once, 3 years ago, when we stood chatting for 10 minutes at the plot that he's got here. And he phoned me up and he said, do I know of someone that can fetch his car in Knysna and take it to Cape Town? So I organized that for him, and then he phoned me again and he asked me, don't I want the car? I had no idea what it looks like. So I sort of hesitated and said, no, well, you know, he wanted to give it to me then, but let me pay the 5,500 delivery. So I didn't know what it looked like. So I said, and then he said, well, you'll pay the delivery as well. Don't I want it? So I said, yeah, well, that'll be great. Thank you very much. And he even sent the papers for me with DHL, which cost him £50. Within 3 days, it was here too.
Oh my
So my positive vibes are reaching out all over the world.
Do you think the positive vibe thing works? You reckon? That is so amazing. Joe, you wanted to say something. Well done, Keith. Yay!
I always want to say something. So during the month of September, there's going to be another abundance pyramid that's going to be gifted to the person that brings in the most friends. And just to refresh your memories on what these are, they are resonance tools, frequency tools, actual physical tools that you're able to connect to different vibrations through the basic principle of the way crystals have a frequency, all of them. And the specific one that Susie's getting right now is the abundance pyramid. And the abundance pyramid has exactly that, the frequency of abundance. And what this pyramid does, it just keeps on resonating the frequency of abundance. And through a scientific principle of resonance, you start becoming attuned or become in harmonic resonance through energy entrainment with the abundance frequencies. So that's what these do. They're worth 1,600 Rand, and they are going to be lovingly gifted to anyone that brings in the most friends, that shares these beautiful sessions with Susie and all of us. And a big thank you to Susie, of course. And yeah.
And then this is another one. This is a love one. So this has a love frequency in it, which obviously radiates around you and everything. And Joe has, this is where he makes energy tools. This is so full of crystals, which we know have energies. So I have this around me, and then I've got So I don't know who won the abundance pyramid last week. I think it was 2 weeks ago. I think it was one of Bridget's people. So if anyone remembers who actually won it, to let me know. I'll also ask on the group, but I have it, and I need to obviously get it to Natal. Kerry, no, you can't have this one. I can't gift it to you. She's longing for one. But yeah, Joe, thank you. These are very special. So they're various energy tools that Joe makes that represents frequencies that you want around you, which is great fun. So it really ups it quickly into the space that you're in. So awesome. We'll let you know the date that we'll do the next one.
It's in alignment.
Sorry
to interrupt you, Susie. It's in alignment with what's been spoken here every week and shared. So it makes sense to be able to gift these kind of things with. It's an alignment. So you get to touch it, taste it, feel it.
Yeah, I'll bring mine on Saturday if I remember. Remind me. Really special. Thanks, Joe. You're such a star. Okay, so I don't want you one of the things I don't want you when you do daydream, don't put a price tag on it, guys. There's no money involved in this. We're looking for a frequency. There's no limiting anything. So if I say there's limitless money, which a lot of us are actually all about to come into proper. And limitless money, limitless time, limitless everything, because if you get into that, there's no borders for your dreams. The only borders you have is what you limit yourself to dream. And go wild, go absolutely wild. All these fantasy movies that are out and everything, go into Thor, go into, you name it, galaxy of whatever they are, just go huge and have fun with it. The most important theme is fun and love, and you get on that frequency, you will find all sorts of magic happening around you. Okay, I think I was going to keep you half an hour, but I got so carried away. Anyway, guys, you're such stars, and I'm so proud of you all. Keith, fantastic. Alan, go get yourself some brochures and just have fun. It doesn't mean you're going. Of course you're going to go. You know you are. But start planning.
I'll go tomorrow. I'll start my dreaming tomorrow.
You can even go to bed tonight with having a dream of, I don't know, walking to the travel agent.
Yeah.
You never know who you might bump into.
No, there are quite a few around. There's one called Above Board in where they have like more sea cruises. They do a lot of cruises and this type of thing.
Go fetch all the brochures. Go cruising, go Niling, go European, go Israeling, go skiing, go and do what you possibly, even if you can't still ski, doesn't matter, you can still toboggan, you can go to the snow. Just go have fun. Go cut pictures out. Just get the digestive juices of a frequency that you've long forgotten and bring it back into your existence, and you will start creating momentum in your days and in your lives. It really, honestly, and truly is fact. I know, being there, doing it, loving it. Life is amazing. I love you all, and I'm so grateful for you all. And for some of you, I'll see you on Saturday. And for others, I'll be back here next Thursday as well. We'll pick our theme. And if there's anything in particular that you want me to talk, just let me know. And I'll keep posting things on the Back to Basics. If we can just keep it to the personal development on that group, will be great. Muath, Joe, you're on the other group as well. I'll start posting you things and as well. So I have to go and do my homework now and have my dinner. So on that note, have an amazing evening, a magical evening. Happy dreaming. Go huge or go to bed. And go to bed. Go huge.
Thanks, Susie. Great session.
Oh, pleasure, my owl. I'll see you on Saturday. Love you lots.
Love you lots too.
Oh, my heart is full. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being here. Bye.
Bye.